I think smokes is the most underappreciated role in Valorant because it has the lowest skill floor. Even if you had to play with someone first timing Val, you just tell them to stay alive and put the smokes on your pings. That's how all of us learn smokes for the first time. If we're attacking and rushing A, smoke heaven and CT. If we're defending and they're rushing A, smoke short and long. It's simple and not a lot of responsibility, which is great for new players. But smokes has a high skill ceiling because there are so many places you can put them, and knowing which option is best can decide the round. This is important even if you're not a smokes player because you still need to know which one to ask for. So in this video, we're going to review some rounds from Zander's rank game. I'll break down his thought process behind smoke placement to help you make better decisions in your own games. But before we get into it, I'm looking for a premier team to coach. There's a Google form in the description and I'll pick 1 or 2 teams. No requirements and it's free. Now, let's start the VOD. There's less than 30 seconds left in this round, and attackers have been quiet. Garage window gets smoked, so a garage to C hit is really likely. Jet's out on C, and Cypher dies backside. It's easy to think, they're hitting C, so we need a smoke C long. But that's not gonna help. Right now, Jet is default, Sova is garage, and you're by yourself in CT. What problems are you gonna run into when you try to get back on site? If you swing out, you're gonna be exposed to 2 angles since there's nothing else for attackers to look at besides CT. Sova can still be holding from garage, and once he makes contact, Jet can swing from default. We're not going to kill both at the same time, and using our 1 smoke for C long isn't going to do anything to stop this 1v2. What should we do instead? Zander smokes off the right and blinds the left to flood on sight. This lets him and his Jet get to plat without being seen, and it's important he uses his smoke and blind like this because it doesn't work the other way around. If you smoke the left side instead of blinding it, it's about the same because you're blocking off the garage angle. But blinding the right is much worse than smoking it because you won't be able to cross the plat for free. The blind's gonna catch anyone holding from default or front plat, but you're fully exposed to garage and long. We never saw Reyna, so she could be long holding that cross with Sova. With this sight smoke on the right, we can cross the plat, and now attackers have to worry about more than just CT. Attackers won't want to run through the smoke dry, so Zander can focus on holding left. Their Reyna was actually lurking through garage, but Jet's already plat looking in that direction. Zander gets the kill on Sova and they end up winning the round. Cypher dies garage and Zander hears them running to C. This isn't the same situation as last round since attackers aren't on C yet, but we still need to use our smokes on site. Smoking off long still doesn't do anything here. Smoke should make attackers scared of what's on the other side. They can't clear angles individually since they're exposed to all of them at the same time once they swing out the smoke. But since Cypher died, attackers have full garage control and can feed C info to the long players. From garage, you can see front sight and most of plat to help clear angles for the long players that are smoked off. So instead of smoking long, Zander uses both smokes for sight to flood back in with Jet again. Shooting the veto ball is a mistake and he gets spammed for making noise, but let's focus on the smokes because they're keeping backside control for his team. Jet is holding from back plat, so his rotators from A can flood in without using util. Sova runs logs and gets an isolated fight on their Jet. His Jet kills Sova, who's blinded by a Reyna eye, and swings front plat after where their Jet was seen last. His Reyna closes out the round, and this all started from keeping backside control. If he didn't use sight smokes, he would be exposed to 2 angles with his Jet and die before his Reyna and Sova could rotate from A. Just like last round, if you don't smoke sight while attackers have control of it, they can hold CT for an easy fight. This round, he's jump spotting long while 2 are holding short. His short players die, but he knows their Reyna is long and their Sova is short. He doesn't want to be pinched back sight against this rush, but he also can't smoke off long and short with 1 smoke. At best, he'll go 1 for 1 and still give up sight control. To isolate his fights against this rush, he blinds to push the long players back and smokes sight before TPing short. Ideally, he would play to stay alive, but he rushed to smoke so there's a gap. If there wasn't a gap, this spot gives him a lot of options. He can hide in the smoke and hold any long players that try to push into it. He can stay in this corner to hide from short and hold the long players from there. There's another corner where he can hide from long and hold short. He even has the option to walk down short and isolate a fight. The key point is Zander can choose where he wants to fight instead of helplessly getting pinched. He ends up losing the duel against Vito through that gap this round, but we'll look at the smoke again later. There's noise towards C, so he smokes off long, but Cypher ends up going 1 for 1. Since Cypher's dead, attackers take C and Zander's stuck in the CT smoke. He has a smoke and a blind, so he should blind left and smoke right to get to plat, right? This time he can't do that because there's nobody to flood in with, so he waits for his A players. He holds for a push into the CT smoke instead, and as it's about to fade, he smokes to the left to block off anyone holding him from garage. If the garage player wants to help the CT hold now, they'll need to reposition or swing through the smoke. He wants to keep this position where he's out from CT, but also hidden from anyone holding him from the right. Zander kills Vito on top, and now his team is here to fight with him. The left is smoked off, so now he can focus on fighting the right. Sova kills their Clove, and Zander one-taps Reyna. He blinds the last guy and TPs on site to win the round. Even though it felt like we've seen this situation before, there were still small differences that made us change the way we used our util. Their Sova ults to start an A exec, and Zander puts down the same side smoke. He runs to A link, blinds to slow down their push, and get himself on A. It's the same side smoke, but it's helping him in a different way now. He gets back on site easily because attackers in short can't see him. His Cypher is graffiti, using the smoke to hide from both long and short. If attackers push through the smoke to fight, they're running right into a cross between Zander and Cypher. As soon as the smoke fades, you can see how important it was. He loses a hard fight because he got swung from left and right at the same time. Being a good controller is so much more than just memorizing the default smokes on each map and placing them down as soon as you hear noise. Different situations call for different smokes, and if you get good at determining which smoke is best for your situation, rounds will feel much easier for your whole team. If you enjoyed this video, check out my last one where I VOD review Jogamo and explain the simple mentality he uses to win his rank games. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.